everyone. So I recently have had the privilege of reading Jon Krakauer's fascinating book, Into the Wild, which features one of the most, I think, compassionate and genuinely vivacious characters ever to be captured on paper, Chris McCandless. Uh, Chris was a brave, really brave young man who knew absolutely no limits. He followed any of his dreams, and he ventured into the wild with the absolute barest of necessities in search of what he thought was a more meaningful life. And unfortunately, his lack of supplies resulted in a painful and slow death, which inflicted his loved ones with a devastating grief like no other. So as a result, many called him insane and a nutcase or an arrogant fool, but I strongly disagree with these criticisms because Chris followed his dreams, which I feel like something that not many people have the guts to do. He once said in a letter to his friend Ronald Franz that so many people live within unhappy circumstances, and yet they will not take the initiative to change their situation because they are conditioned to a life of security, conformity, and conservatism, all of which may appear to give one peace of mind, but in reality, nothing is more dangerous to the adventurous spirit within man than a secure future. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experiences, and hence there is no greater joy than to have an endlessly changing horizon for each day, to have a new and different sun. Wow. Chris was very different because he wasn't afraid to do what made him truly happy, and he wasn't afraid to abandon what he calls like security to find such a state of just bliss. And personally, I believe that he's not an inspiration because he held an ascetic lifestyle for so long. A lot of people do that, to be honest. But he had the initiative to put everything on hold to do what he wanted and what he loved. In the end, granted, it did cost him his life, but at least he could call the years that he spent on this earth life, like a true and genuine life. His years were full of happiness and fullness, and I can't help compare it to this cheesy Dr. Seuss quote. Don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. So many know what they want, but they're too scared to jump out of the nest and just live. It seems like they spend each day waiting for something to come when it's they themselves that must take the initiative. It's unfortunate that too many people around the world are just essentially waiting to die, and few will ever know a joy or a life like Chris's. I feel like in general the world would be a much better and happier place if more had his compassion and his just honest bravery. And while we all have extremely different dreams, they shouldn't be ignored because a life without happiness really isn't a life at all. And Chris McCandless is dead, but his inspirational message remains: live the life that you've always wanted. Thank you. Bye.